Loki is a vampire. What's up, everybody? Back today with a review of Only Lovers Left Alive, starring Tom Hiddleston. Of course, he played Loki. And in this film, he plays a vampire named Adam, and he reconnects with his lover through the ages, played by Tilda Swinton. Her name in the movie is called Eve. Of course, I think that's just to depict how long they've actually been alive. Of course, you know, the film's called Only Lovers Left Alive, and it's really about them living through the ages and kind of being bored with being alive. Sort of, that's the idea that they promote in this movie. First of all, it's not a horror movie really at all. The story revolves around vampires. There's only like one kill in the whole movie, and it's not violent. There's no blood, there's no gore. The only blood is when they're drinking it. And this movie, like I said, it's more drama based, and it's kind of like they're old heroin addicts. When they drink the blood, they like put their head back. And the film is very musically oriented because Tom Hiddleston's character is basically like this vampire that's lived forever, and you know, he's known all these composers, and they keep referring to all these pop culture icons: Shakespeare, Schubert, Lord Byron, I think Mary Shelley, they referenced her also. And these are all people through the ages that these vampires, I guess, have hobnobbed with. And it's kind of interesting. They're just basically sick of living their life the way it is, especially Tom Hiddleston's character. He's sort of like this reclusive musician. He has this guy working for him, and I don't want to go too much into it because that's the meat of the movie. Like I said, it's just a look into the life of two people that have lived for like ever, you know, and how the littlest things excite them, and in general, they're just kind of bored because they've seen the rise and fall of so many things, and, you know, great people come and go. And that's the impression you get through the whole movie, is that they really just appreciated great artists, the great minds. Everybody else to them is just like a part of the flock. And in fact, Tom Hiddleston in the movie refers to, you know, the average person as like a zombie. But yeah, no horror. It's more of like the gothic sort of somber drama thing. And there's only a couple things I didn't like. I really enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought it would, to tell you the truth. Originally I read about it, I was like, oh, it's going to be just emo vampires crap or whatever. But it hooked me at the beginning because, you know, it started with guitar stuff. Like I said, Tom Hiddleston's character is a musician. The one thing I didn't like about it was I thought that it pushed a little bit too much about the references to history and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not a history expert. I still understood it loud and clear that they had lived for hundreds of years, and, you know, they had hobnobbed with great artists and stuff like that, and, you know, had influenced the artists without being credited ever. And, you know, that they appreciated living with those artists, but they kind of like did it to where it was hitting you over the head. And at times, I think people are going to think this movie comes off as totally pretentious because, you know, it's got the real, like, underground type music soundtrack, and it's just, you know, all about guitar rock and stuff like that. It's kind of weird. It has like an Anne Rice feel to it, at least what I know of Anne Rice. But overall, I really liked the film. I kind of had mixed emotions about the ending. The more I think about it, it's actually pretty clever. It shows how the vampires are kind of susceptible to changes in the world, even though they're immortal. They can, you know, still be affected by pollution and stuff like that. When you watch the movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Overall, I'm going to give Only Lovers Left Alive a 4 out of 5 stars. Originally, it was going to be higher, but as the movie went on, it kind of declined a little bit in my eyes. I think, like I said, it was just a little too heavy-handed with the references. The rest of it, I really liked. I liked the somber, dramatic tone to it all. I really enjoyed Tom Hiddleston's performance. I love the way Tilda Swinton looked. John Hurt makes an appearance in here as a vampire. So some pretty good stuff. A lot better than I expected. I recommend it. You know, I wouldn't be kicking down doors to see it, but because I don't think it's going to be for everybody. I personally, on a personal level, liked it. Overall, I think it's one of the better films I've seen this year so far. So Only Lovers Left Alive gets 4 out of 5 stars. Tell me what you thought down below. Did you like Tom Hiddleston's performance? I did. I thought the whole musician thing was cool. Let me know your thoughts on the film down below. Bye.